Tale of Amara and the Lost Song. In a lush valley surrounded by mist-covered mountains, there lay the peaceful village of Tanshi. The village was known for its beautiful, melodic songs, which echoed through the hills every morning. These songs were passed down through generations, believed to carry the blessings of the gods. Each family had its own unique melody that was sung every evening, and the rhythm of the songs brought harmony to the people's lives. At the heart of the village lived a young girl named Amara, who was known for her voice, soft yet powerful, full of grace and warmth. From the time she could speak, Amara had been singing. Her voice was said to be the purest of all the children in the village. Her family's song was the most beloved, and the villagers would often stop their work to listen to Amara's voice fill the air. But Amara had a secret. Her song, unlike the others, was not entirely hers. It had once been sung by her mother, a woman whose voice was even more enchanting. But her mother had passed away when Amara was just a child, and Amara had never learned the song in its entirety. She could only remember fragments of the melody, a haunting lullaby that seemed to carry an unspoken sorrow. One day, the village awoke to a strange silence. For the first time in living memory, the songs of Tanshi had ceased. The village, once vibrant with the sound of song, was now eerily quiet. Amara stood at the edge of her home, puzzled. The villagers were talking in hushed tones, trying to understand what had happened. The elders gathered at the center of the village, but no one could explain the silence. As the days passed, the quiet grew deeper. No one could sing. The songs, once cherished by all, had disappeared. The crops began to wither, and the animals grew restless. The villagers grew anxious, knowing that their songs were their connection to the gods. Without them, there was no blessing, no guidance. Amara, desperate to restore the song, decided to seek answers. She believed that the key to breaking the silence lay in the lost lullaby her mother had once sung. But she knew she could not do it alone. She needed to uncover the missing part of the song and its deeper meaning. Amara visited Elder Buba, the oldest of the village's singers. With his long, white beard and deep wrinkles, he was a man of great wisdom. Elder Buba, Amara asked, "Why have the songs disappeared? What has happened to our voices?" Elder Buba sighed heavily. The songs of Tanshi are tied to the spirit of the land. Without the songs, the village loses its connection to the gods, and the land withers. But there is one more thing, child. The lullaby your mother sang held a great power, a power that must be returned to the world. If the lullaby has been lost, so too have the songs of our people. Amara felt a pang in her chest. But I don't remember the full song. Only fragments. Elder Buba looked at her thoughtfully. The song is hidden within you, Amara. It was passed to you by your mother, and it is your destiny to find it again. Seek the voice of the wind, the waters, and the trees, for they will guide you. With these words, Amara set out on her journey. She walked through the village and into the dense forest beyond, her heart filled with a sense of purpose. The forest was alive with the sounds of nature, but there was still no song, only the quiet rustling of leaves. Amara walked for hours until she reached the peak of the great mountain that loomed over Tanshi. The wind was strong at the top, sweeping over the land and howling through the trees. It was here that Amara remembered the first part of the song, a soft, lilting melody that her mother used to sing when she was a baby. "O wind, I seek your guidance," Amara called out, closing her eyes and lifting her arms to the sky. "Help me find the missing part of the song." The wind answered, not with words, but with a soft breeze that tousled her hair and whispered through the trees. The song carried a familiar tune, the same melody her mother had sung, but now it was clearer, more defined. Amara listened intently, her heart racing as the wind carried the melody deeper into her soul. She sang along with it, her voice rising and falling with the wind. As she sang, she felt the song awakening within her, a part of her that had long been dormant. When the wind fell silent, Amara knew she had found one piece of the song. But she still needed the others. The next day, Amara journeyed to the river that ran beside the village. The river was wide and deep, its waters flowing with great power. She stood at its edge, the sound of the rushing water filling her ears. "O water, I seek your wisdom," Amara said, her voice carrying over the current. "Help me restore the song of Tanshi." The river answered with a gentle rush, its water swirling in patterns that seemed to form words. As Amara listened, she realized that the water carried another part of the lullaby, a haunting, melodic line that intertwined with the wind's tune. Amara sang along, her voice blending with the flow of the river. The two sounds, one of wind and one of water, came together, forming a beautiful harmony. Amara felt the power of the song filling her being, and she knew that with this piece, she was closer to completing the lullaby. The final part of the journey took Amara to the ancient forest at the edge of the valley. The trees here were old, some hundreds of years old, and their trunks were thick with the wisdom of time. As Amara walked deeper into the forest, she felt a sense of reverence. The trees seemed to watch her, their branches swaying gently in the wind. "O trees, ancient guardians of the land, I seek your song," Amara called out, her voice soft but filled with longing. "Help me restore the lullaby." The trees responded with a rustling of leaves, their branches creaking in a rhythm that was ancient and full of power. Amara closed her eyes and listened carefully. Slowly, she began to hear the final part of the song, a low, steady beat that grounded the melody and gave it its full meaning. Amara took a deep breath and sang the final verse, her voice blending with the wind, the water, and the trees. As she did, the song seemed to reverberate through the earth itself, a deep and resonant vibration that shook the very ground beneath her feet. With the song now whole, Amara returned to the village. She stood at the center of Tanshi, where the villagers had gathered, their faces filled with worry. Amara stepped forward, and as the sun set behind the mountains, she began to sing the lullaby. The moment her voice filled the air, the land seemed to come alive again. The trees swayed, the river began to flow more freely, and the wind picked up, carrying the melody across the valley. The crops began to grow, and the animals returned to their grazing. The village, once silent, was filled with the sound of song once more. The villagers gathered around Amara, their faces glowing with joy and relief. "The song has returned," they cried. "Amara, you have brought us back to life." Elder Buba approached her and smiled. "You have done what none of us could, Amara. You have restored the song of Tanshi. Your mother's spirit lives on in you, and her song will never be forgotten." Amara smiled, knowing that the song was not just a melody, but a bond that connected her to the land, the people, and the gods. It was a reminder that the true power of a song lies in its ability to unite and heal.